And wash me over until my will runs dry. Send all your sins all over me, baby.
Hey Savvies, welcome back to another video. If you are new to the channel, my name is Jada. I am a mom, fashion designer, business owner, and just an overall good vibe. So come on and join the Savvy squad. You are going to love it over here. Today's video is a fresh start. I am now introducing how-to videos to my channel. I feel like this would definitely broaden my horizon and teach you guys, teach me as well. There's a lot of stuff that I am not familiar with, so it will definitely help me research more and get familiar with it. And also, as a designer, you have to keep going, you have to keep sewing, and if you keep doing it, you will get better at it. So I feel like this will help me. So today we will be starting with making a bucket hat. All the fun festivities for the summer. I cannot wait to show you guys my ideas, what I have in this brain of mine. I am going to be taking over the summer, okay? And so are you. So are you. All of these projects you can definitely do at home. All you will need is a sewing machine. Without further ado, let's get into making this bucket hat. Isn't she cute? Here are the things that you will need for this project: scissors, pins, thread, fabric of your choice, ruler or measuring tape, and interfacing. First things first, you are going to take your fabric and fold it twice, so there is 4 layers of the same fabric. Next, you're going to measure your head. Mine is 24 inches, and you're going to divide that by 6.28, which mine is 3.8. Now you're going to take your measuring tape and take the end of it to the corner of your fabric where all the fabric meets, and measure it 3.8 in a half circle, like this. Alright, now you're going to cut it out, and it's going to be a full circle. I got these scissors from Amazon. I will link them down below. But this is the crown of your bucket hat. Now you're going to take your fabric and fold it once, and you're going to measure on the fold and cut on the fold. The measurements are the measurement of your head divided by 2, which mine is 12, and that is the length. Now the width is 3.5. So go ahead and measure that out. Now you're going to create a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And remember that you are doing all of this on the fold. This is an easy way to save some fabric. Now you are going to cut it out, and now you have 2 pieces to your bucket hat. All right, now it's time to work on the last piece for your bucket hat. Super easy. All you gotta do is fold your fabric and take the measurement of your head, divide it by 3.14, which mine is 7.64, and this will now be the length. So go ahead and measure that out. Also, I want to remind you that you are measuring and cutting on the fold. So you fold your fabric one time and you put the end of your measuring tape to the corner of the fold where all the fabric meets. Not the other end where there is space and you can open the fabric. You're going to put it on the end where it all meets and it's all closed in. If that makes sense. Sorry for the change in lighting and scenery. It was the next day when I ended up finishing this video, but now you are going to, your width is going to be 2.5 inches. So you're going to measure that out, and you're also going to allow a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now, this next part is optional. I am going to create another layer of the brim, which is the last piece that we were working on. And this is going to be the inside of the bucket hat. So we have the outside and then we have the inside of the bucket hat. Now we're going to do the same thing to our interfacing, just creating another layer of the brim. And instead of it being 2.5 to 3 inches wide, we're going to make it just 2 inches wide so it can fit inside the fabric that we have for the brim. Now we have all of our pieces. Let's move on over to the sewing machine. Let's start off with the brim. This is the piece that we just got done cutting. We are going to take both of our pieces of the brim and we're going to unfold them to where they are straight across, long and lengthy. And we're going to sew along the inner edge of the brim together. I'm going to use my pins to keep the fabric in place and for a straight stitch along the edge. You can open it up and iron along the seam. This will be good for a nice finishing touch. However, I do not own an iron, so I will not be doing this step, but this is very optional. Now we are going to sew along the outer edge, and I'm just going to take my pins just for a straight stitch and make sure that the fabric is together. to add our interfacing to the center of our brim. I'm going to use some pins to lock it in and sew along the inner edge. I also want to mention that you can iron this down if it is a iron-on interfacing, but like I said, I don't have an iron, so we are going to sew along the edge. All right, our brim is almost done. We are going to now take there's like a little hole in it because we just sewed down 2 pieces, so there's still a little hole. We're going to push everything through that little hole, just like this. So I would iron all of this down for a neater finish. Next, we are going to take the 2 ends and lock it in and sew along there. Now moving on to a much easier part, we are going to take our middle piece and our crown, and we're going to put some pins around the edges of our crown and the edge of our middle piece. Now we're going to flip everything right side up, and it almost looks like a little chef's hat. We're going to attach our brim to make it a bucket hat. Now make sure the inside is attached to the outside of the chef's hat, and it is right side up, if that makes any sense. there's your bucket hat. We have one last step to do, and that is adding a top stitch to our brim. I'm doing it on the outer edge of the brim. You can do it on the inner edge as well, or on the top of the crown, whichever you prefer, just to give it some structure. Since I do not have an iron with me, it would look so much better if I had one, but until we get one, we're going to add some top stitching to make it look nice. There you have it, your finished bucket hat. How does it look? I think it looks amazing. Turned out so good. Comment down below some more video ideas, and if you like this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.